This devotion is based on Psalm 39, and I've called it Life is Short. It's a bit Ecclesiastes-like, this psalm. It's all a bit ho-hum, what's life is all about. It's so short, it's so, meaningless. What's the point and all that sort of thing. But it actually is encouraging because it helps us get stripped back from pumping our tyres up full of our own hot air, getting back to what life is all about. So if you're in a difficult place, you'll actually find this psalm encouraging. If you're not, you'll probably find it a bit depressing, but need to read it anyway. But anyway, some highlights for me, and then please tell me yours in the comments. Firstly, first few verses 1 to 3, he says to himself, because he's in this bad place, I'm going to keep my head down, I'm going to keep my mouth shut. And it doesn't work. He says, my anguish just increased, my heart grew hotter and hotter. So then he speaks, verses 4 to 6. And when he speaks, it's good speech. He says, Lord, just help me see how short life is. And he says things like, it's fleeting, it's just a handbreadth. It's just a breath, and like Ecclesiastes, he says, all this, it's vain just to rush about trying to do things in life as humans. Then verse 7 is central, where he says, but now, Lord, what do I look for? My hope is in you. He still recognizes that his only hope is in God, and that's where he needs to look. So then in verse 8 to 11, he is seeking to be cleansed from sin, to be right with God. He says things like, remove your scourge, the blow of your hand, because he's still struggling with this sense that he has sinned, that he's in the wrong. He's still in this dark place. And then the end is interesting, because he basically very conventionally says, Lord, answer my prayer, I'm calling to you. But then verse 13, he says, look away from me, that I may enjoy life again. Is he asking God to look away? Is God's gaze heavy? Well, no, it's not. It's full of light, love, and life. But when you're in a bad place and when you feel like you've sinned, it does feel heavy. So he's asking God to look away in terms of he doesn't want to have that gaze. But if he's right with God, everything will be cool. But you tell me your highlights from this psalm. It's an interesting one.